Hey guys, welcome back to the Rock Mountain Prepper. So today we're going to be going over the Yaesu FTM200. It is a very, very good radio, I have to say. I usually just do public safety type radios. This is the first amateur radio only radio that I have had in the shack, in the vehicle, whatever. This was a gift from some of the guys at the Ham Club, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed. I've heard Icom and Yaesu, they're both of the greatest radios ever. I don't have any experience with Icom, but Yaesu lives up to that. So this radio in particular, it is analog system fusion / wires X. The primary difference between the two is fusion is local. No, that's not right. Fusion, you can have both analog and digital coming into the same repeater. Wires X, you go through the internet. And there is all the settings here to do all that. It works. So I primarily have this set up in a remote mount. So I had a attached from the radio, but I put it back on just to show. So that's all there is. It's a little jumper wire here. It goes from brick to the radio. They include an additional cable so that you can convert it to a remote mount. Yeah, it's just as simple as pushing that tab, change the cable, you're good to go. So let me put this back on real quick. Come on, please be friendly. Please. I love technology. So, yeah. Then it's got a port data cable on the back for if you were to turn this into a wires X repeater or programming software. It's got APRS, which I've been using the crap out of. I only heard APRS until I got this radio. Now I use the crap out of it. And it's got a dual receive. It's not a true dual band, dual receive, if you will, as in they're not separate. You can't, it's not like the 400, if I want to say, that you have a knot for volume and channel on each. You just use your AB to switch. I clicked the beep off because the beep is the worst, and it's got a bunch of other features. You got a waterfall. You have a waterfall type display, so this is on Give Me Your Call. If I were to key up on another radio, KF0HWV test. See it light up. You got an S meter here, volume, squelch, kind of everything you would expect in a modern day radio. Let's just, I'm going to try and make this kind of sweet and short as I learn it a little bit more. This would be for if you were to use wires X. That's one way that you can get your packets out to a stereo repeater. So you got your FM digital there. So you notice how it says DN there with the line on top. You can have it with the line or without the line. The line is primarily used for if you're on a Yaesu fusion repeater. Like I said earlier, you have digital and analog. So I have the DPH brick on Give Me Your Call, same frequency. And it comes through as an analog. But if I were to go here, get rid of that line, you will see that the S meter comes up, that flashes, but you get no audio. And so then VW is for sending your packets to a stereo repeater, then FM. So with that, we're back to pure analog. Here you have a quick menu. So you can set up all these, tone encode, whatever you want. The only thing I did change is I added APRS beacon transmit to here, so that I can send packets out if I change like in setting or something, I want to test it out. You get all these. This will make it on and off, so if it were to decode. So down here on the bottom, I have had APRS the whole time. And then the top, I have all my memory, or if I want to go into VFO and play around with something, I have that. So one thing I did notice that I did not like is the programming software. It said you take an SD card, you throw it in here, it'll read it. It did not see the SD card, and I have an SD card reader on this computer. I don't get why it didn't see it, but it didn't. kind of irritating, whatever. And so yeah, and biggest reason I decided, my club members and I decided that I needed to get a base station is because where I'm at, 5 watts wouldn't cut it on a handheld. Like I would have to go to the top of the hill, mic, with a external mic, antenna as high as I could get it, and hope it worked. This, I don't have to worry at all. Okay, I have 0 HWV testing, no response needed.
Welcome to the K.
And then that is our club repeater. So I just sent that out. And then this is another one. This and a couple others are currently down due to some maintenance having to get done. This, I thought I might be able to reach it, but nothing. Maybe, but I haven't had much luck there. So I have a bunch of things here at the beginning for all my local stuff, local fire type stuff, some more, and then I threw in the International Space Station stuff because I've been trying to do that. There's APRS again, so 14439 is the nationwide APRS frequency. Everything APRS related is on this frequency as far as I understand. And then from there, all my other systems. So I have Qualcomm in here, Skyhub throughout the state. I have a few more to add from Westco. And then this radio is set to jet. I did keep the SD card in this so I could save all my frequencies. That way I can transfer them to other Yaesu radios if I were to expand my my cache, if you will, of Yaesu radios. And this thing is a champ. Like, and I'm going to touch a little bit on it. It works great. I'm going to touch on the VHF as far as a little bit more than just line of sight, because if it was just line of sight, I'd have radio coverage for maybe 2 miles from my place. I just live in a hole, and I got a mountain on my west, plateau on my north, hills on my south and my east. So I live in just a plain old hole. So this one, this Qualcomm frequency in Kremling, I looked it up and I am 33 miles from it. I'm not gonna show any like Latin long and stuff, but there's that. And then this other one, and then I can almost hear Leadville, which is pretty cool. I've never knew how much they transmitted out until I started doing this. Then if we were to go over here, Steamboat, oh, where did it go? It's a UHF frequency, I remember that much. Here it is, this Vale one. I looked at it as well. I am 55 miles away from it, and I can hit it too, usually. Grant, my signal is very weak, but I can get a message out if needed. KF0HWV testing. And then another thing is, I noticed this as soon as I got the radio on VHF. Let me find another VHF frequency. This one is to a tower that's down, but if you take a close listen, it just keys up. But if I were to go to a UHF,
Stand by, the Wisconsin ham radio announcement will start in about 1 minute.
and that's about to go on. But if I go to a UHF, there's a click in there. So someone could tell me what the click is. It's been driving me crazy. Is it like a relay to an amplifier so we can get the full 50 on UHF or whatever it is? If someone could tell me what that is, that'd be greatly appreciated. And then one of my by far favorite features on this radio. So you have your scan here. Scan is great, but it scans everything. It takes it a while with as many channels as I have in it. So if we were to go back, you have this PMG. You can put in 4 frequencies of whatever you want. I put in 2 local hams and then 2 public safeties. You start it, it'll scan just these 4, and it is lightning fast. Like, I've tested it by just doing hot mics on my radio, and it finds it within a second at most, half a second most of the time, which is awesome. And then, like I said, the waterfall display, and then if you're an overachiever, Crap, I lost it. So GPS does not work in here because, like I said, I live in a hole, and the GPS antenna is built into the control head, so I had to manually punch in my GPS info for APRS to work. So this does not work. If it was working, you would see a little satellite here that would light up, and it would show that you have GPS lock on, which I don't. And then you have a crap ton of menus. So here, this is all APRS related stuff. This, you have all the APRS beacons that have come through. This one is a weather station, so it tells me what time it was, how far away it was from me, wind speed, direction, all that good stuff. The lat and long of that site works great. And then message list, this would be what I was sending, and I was playing around with the SMS pass through from APRS to a cell phone. Your beacon transmit, and then there's all your APRS stuff. So here you got in service returning. This is my favorite one, by the way, for the main reason being at work we use this same kind of system. So we got committed, so we got off duty, en route, in service, returning, committed, specials, priority, custom. I have no idea what the emergency does. I'm not about to find out. So play at your own risk. I'll leave that in service. Then you can set up whatever symbol you have. I just leave it as that because I'm a base station. Your position. Then I just gave away my location. Great. Then your manually message reply. That's if you wanted to auto reply, all that good stuff. The way I understand it is 9 is the base station, if you will, for APRS numbers. I think that's what it is. That's what I've seen a lot of people set theirs to, so I'm going with it. This is all has to do with how the path is to the APRS network. This, so I got auto on every hour, and then I left the rest of this relatively standard. This I have available or monitoring, which goes out on the APRS. My information, that was so that it scrambles my location a little bit, all that good stuff. Data would be for if you're gonna do wires X type stuff through this radio, turn this into a wires X repeater, then hook it up to you or a computer. And then wires X is for steering physical repeaters. GM, that is for more your digital stuff, more digital, all your scan stuff, signaling, so PL tones, pager tones. I have not been able to figure out the pager function. I'll get it one of these days, all that good stuff. Your configurations for your GPS, time zone, everything you could possibly need. There's some pretty good menus. This is one of the better ones because everything is nicely in order for the most part, and it's really easy to figure it out. Like within a week of having this radio, I had most of it figured out. And if I were to come back up here to where I was, you can back up all your stuff. So that's, and then I use 4 megabytes. It tells you all sorts of good stuff with the SD card. That Bluetooth is not enabled because that's an external part. Voice memory, so you can record, all that good stuff. And I heard, and this is pretty cool, there's apparently a USB camera that you can add to this. I haven't played around with it too much, so yeah. So yeah, that's kind of just a rough down in the dirty of this radio. I will be showing the antennas, the antenna farm, and the rest of the shack pretty soon. So stay tuned. RMP out.